Honestly, there we go.
All right. Good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started at 6 p.m. with a flag salute. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, as I said a minute ago, Chair Ristine is going to be excused from today's meeting. Do we have any changes to the agenda tonight? All right. We will go ahead and go into the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I just have a quick question.
Okay.
The meetings from December are in there twice. Is there any difference there? It's just a thing.
Yeah, when I looked at it yesterday, when I was going through looking at what you were saying was missing to double check, I noticed I had stuck it in there twice. So I
don't need to.
Yeah.
Need a second.
Nope, took one out.
I move to accept the consent agenda.
I will second that motion.
All right, Laura.
I have one more question now that we've
Okay.
in the month-end reconciliation and financial report. This is the first time I've seen a note on there ever. And then there's a note about a return check. So the return check and the deposit discrepancy are related.
Yes.
The deposit didn't go through and so a check bounced.
No, it didn't bounce. It actually was deposited and then withdrawn from American Fidelity.
Right.
I didn't know if I should put that on there, but I stuck it on there anyway. It's great. So yeah.
Pay attention.
Okay. George?
Yes.
He was like, what am I voting?
Yeah. It's like, what are we talking about? Russ?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Soren?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
All right. Do we have any patron comments?
We do not.
Okay. Bye tonight. We'll go into reports and we'll start with Ms. Hudson and your superintendent K-12 principal report.
Hey, so I don't know, it wasn't super dark maybe when you arrived. I'm not sure if you saw the new lighting, but we're getting a lot of new lighting all around the school just to brighten it up. There's more coming. It'll be kind of curb appeal, but also safety enhancement. Lead and water updates. Again, I'm sure you got the remind, but the two that were a little elevated are now detected. So that's great. Just continuing to make improvements there, especially with one of them being the preschool building. That's great news. We had some community partners kindly dedicate labor and materials to lay 2 20 by 20 feet concrete slabs out by our CTE building, one for the greenhouse and one for the sawmill. So they didn't want to be mentioned, but we need to just sort of give a blanket thank you for all of those that helped do that. We also have a couple other community members that are donating a new flag. We had some issues with the flag pole. It wasn't so much the flag, but they are coming tomorrow to keep that up. So that's exciting and very kind of them. Let's see, the site assessment report is in front of you if you want to look at that. That was from ODE. And we'll talk about the Stryker communication component here in a little bit. Phase 2 of the seismic rehabilitation. So I did get an email confirming that ZCS is finishing the QA/QC this week, to be honest. But it's part of the QA and QC. Something within those reports, and they will then be submitting them next week. And then did I send those to you? I will.
I could not find.
Okay, if you'd like to look at those applications and those documents, I can send that to you. I think they're each like 106 pages, so I didn't want to print them out for you.
Yes.
So I will get those done. Stage concessions, if you haven't been to a home game yet, they look really great, and there's going to be some extended painting that goes up the stage to the library. But everything's looking really clean and fresh, so that's exciting. And then the art class will be adding a mural later this year, and they're going to do it on a huge canvas board that we can then take off if there's ever a need for repairs without ruining the mural. Okay, and the modular out front, the North Modular, it's all clean and ready to go. Our online classroom is there. So instead of having kids kind of floating around taking online classes in offices, they're in a classroom with our academic advisor. It's very structured and it's great use of that space. Let's see, schedules and systems. So PLC work still continuing to move, and I feel like the teachers are kind of gelling a little bit better, and those are becoming more and more effective as we go through that process. High dosage tutoring has kicked back off in our second phase. Informal observations are all underway now through this month for all staff, not just on and off year. Instructional rounds, part 3, we're going to focus on differentiation and center work for this month as we do our walkthroughs K-12. Semester 2 planning is underway. Staff have been collaborating, and we've been looking at student input surveys to see if our electives are aligning to student interest and needs. So kind of working on finishing those pieces up, and we'll have the students select next week because semester 2 is right around the corner. It's happening fast. But the calendar, I know that's an item down here later, but basically send a survey out over Christmas break, gave them until this Friday to have that complete, and just asking a number of questions for their input to help guide that process. Of course, keeping in mind ODE instructional requirements and PD needs and student success needs. Same thing with the budget development. I sent out a survey asking, are there new curriculum? Are there new equipment? What is it that you might need and want? And then that'll help me build that budget as we go into the next month, because it's going to happen fast as well. MAC training took place for our trainers. So I'll be the site coordinator. And then we have 4 other trainers that will be sort of the experts of MAC Survey Day, even though we're not experts. And then on February 6th, our entire staff will be trained on that. Our first survey, our winter survey, is in March. And then our spring one is in May. Again, the goal is to do 3-year, generate tens of thousands for our programs. It has to go to the health and safety and mental behavioral health of students. So we have some ideas to come up with for that. Let's see. After school programs are going to begin in second semester. We have some math tutoring that we're going to bring in for elementary and middle and high. And then also, if the interest is there, some Lego robotics classes. Don't have the schedule set because we need to make sure we have the interest, but offering a few more things in the afternoon as we move into second semester. Okay. Yeah, it's just boring stuff, I guess. You can read this, but the continued SPED services and all of these outreach through LBL are happening every week. Yeah. Fiscal updates. Movement from our Learn at Home platform is saving us that $15,000. And there was a little bit of, there was a challenge. Anytime you convert to a new platform, there was a challenge. Thank you to Laura and Nathan, who were tech support for a week and a half. It felt like
Continuing. We're still going.
It's getting less, right?
But it's getting less.
yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to work out for us. I did not include discipline data because it's really only been about a week since our last board meeting. Week and a half. That's not enough. So I'll bring all of that to the February. But if you want to look at our attendance data, I just did the snapshots. Laura does a nice report to Office Energy for us. You can see those numbers, the whole student population. The one to the right is the brick and mortar, and then the bottom one is the Learn at Home. See where those are, but still, I mean, really pretty strong. I know it's pretty typical to start strong in September, October, and then it starts to fade away, but I would say we're doing really well. Even with the 6 seasons and
Which is hitting hard.
Right now.
It's nice to see it presented in this way where it shows so many more above that 90%, 80-90%.
Yeah.
I like this view better.
Well, and I like the way that is because, as Russ has mentioned last year, it's really hard to grasp that regular attenders. And if you only have this percent, what does that mean? And so this way you can see across the board, this is how many are in this category. So.
Yep. Any questions on that stuff?
I have a question about after school.
Mhm.
I know that art has historically been super popular. It wasn't mentioned there as a
It's
not
not.
this time.
Not as an after school right now because we have so many elective art classes. Probably more than most schools this size, and it's K-12. So at this point, we don't have an after school. Some of our monthly things through our family liaison are art activities, but those are once a month activities. So, again, if there's an interest though, we're always open to it.
It seems like in the past, like kids just couldn't get enough.
But yeah, and that's
So
probably
we keep
true.
giving them more and more.
More opportunities.
And then just looking at this safety report,
Mhm.
first chance to look at it, they talking about we need a intercom that works.
Yes.
And apply for a COPS grant to get it. I think, didn't we do that
We
like a
did.
year or two ago and they didn't give it to us? They're like,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
actually need this.
They applied last year and we just got word we did not receive it again.
Shoot.
Yeah, we'll keep applying. But
So they're like, you need the intercom and these people give it to you. And they're like, you don't actually need the intercom.
yeah. Unfortunately, we did not receive that grant. Any other questions on those pieces? Athletic department kind of, is it okay to do that now or do I need?
No, it's right.
It's
in
right,
your
it follows. So,
report.
okay, because I'm kind of covering, so.
You're lumped.
Okay, schedules continue, they're being adjusted as officials change and schools change, and sometimes they have a JV and then they don't. So we're trying to get that information out every Sunday for the week, and then again, as things change, give those brief updates. We did create a shared Google sign-up sheet for all of the extra duties. So thank you to everyone who's volunteered to do the clock and the shot clock and the gate and just all of those pieces. We have a shared Google sheet that has all the athletic program practices on it, which is really handy now, and all the coaches have access, but it's a little more streamlined and organized. Third, fourth grade basketball has began, and we have quite a few kids out for that. I actually don't have the total, but I know it's well attended and everyone's excited about that. Let's see, senior night is set for February 12th. I did send something out on Facebook and we'll give some more updates as we get closer. And I think other pieces, we are sort of piecing the AD job position together just to make everything work, but I think it is going really smoothly considering. Yeah. Questions on athletics? Community engagement, obviously tomorrow night, we're doing our training at Deb's. Again, putting out some more information. If you're on Facebook and you want to share the flyer, do that. I think I just did another post last night, Saturday night or something, I can't remember. Just trying to keep that word out there. Semester 1 field trip incentives. We are going to take a couple trips. So middle school, high school is going to do a bowling. If you have no missing assignments by the 20th, you get to go. And that's on that Friday. So we're hoping to get a higher attendance rate for that Friday makeup day. And elementary is doing a peak elite, so it's kind of a gymnastics situation. Yes. So that's exciting. And then we're going to look at a little bit more robust incentive program for second semester now that we have time to promote that and track it. Home basketball games are in full swing for really 3rd through 12th grade. Check out the events calendar and come here on your little brains. That's all I have.
Wonderful. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, we'll move on to enrollment reports.
Continues to ebb and flow. I was telling Stacy earlier, we lost 2 for Learn at Home and turned right around within an hour or 2 and gained 2. So just trying to hold it together.
Do we have a wait list for Learn at Home?
We do not, just because enrollment is low enough that we have room.
Okay.
Classrooms are small enough that we still have some wiggle room.
Okay. Any questions on those 3 reports? Okay, let's jump down to Learn at Home K-5 principal report. Ms. Shunk?
Hi, everyone. I'm in town actually, closer to everybody. So I'm so excited. I get to work on campus the next couple days. And then we'll be in attending a conference at the ESD up here. So I'm in town, but I wanted to be there, but I ended up just getting to the Airbnb now. So anyhow, as Stacy mentioned and Laura mentioned, we are making a shift with the online platform. And I mentioned in my very short board report that that's kind of the focus this week and next week. We quickly determined that Zoom was not going to be a viable option for us. And Nathan jumped on that, and he found another option for us to try. There's been some tech stuff, so I am grateful because while seem to be on both phones and my computer with parents, I am so grateful that I can count on Laura and Nathan to also provide support in that way. So today seemed to be a better day with our plan B. And we're looking forward to hopefully just getting everything very smooth. Our focus, and this is what my focus has been, because we made major shifts with Learn at Home several years ago, mid-year. Our focus, though, is to just really focus on the opportunity for patience, perseverance. We're all thinking together. This is a teamwork situation. We're going to get through, and it'll be smoothed out. I say that, but Laura has also heard me call and go, and I'm grateful for that support as well. But in and of itself, we're doing good, and we're rolling with it. And I've shared this with parents that we will be working through this type of shift when we're in. It really just shows, and I kind of talked about this in my board report, the complexity of the online environment versus brick and mortar. If there's a shift at brick and mortar, that piece can happen. Online, we have all the parents very nervous, watching everything, communicating. And so it becomes kind of a layered scenario. But I think the trust that we've built with our parents is significant. And so they're working with us really well through this and supporting their students from their end. So I'm really grateful. I included our December assembly slides and our January newsletter, really emphasizing the role of the learning coach and how critical that piece is to make this online experience and learning environment work successfully for their students. And so reminding everybody, we have some really great learning coaches, and then we have some learning coaches that we're working on, with support, and we know everybody is busy. Our online environment really does need that partnership with our parents so that we can have a really strong and successful outcomes for our students. So we're focusing on that, always communicating and making our virtual doors open and whatnot. The other piece that I want to talk about is that we're going to be introducing and rolling out in a very intentional, slow way. I like to usually go gusto, but I think it'll be better to roll it out in a very intentional, slow way. We're going to be rolling out a house system. And I mentioned in my board report that the house system is something that is a tradition in schools around the world. This is a long-standing tradition. I have a very close friend who grew up in the UK, who grew up with that and shared a lot of her background experience as a young child in their schools. And I'm very excited. This has in a nutshell, it's immediate connection with students from all ages, an immediate goal of, hey, this is our and representation and connection and community. And we're going to be focusing on our on character traits that we've been working on in our school. So those houses will be the embodiment of those traits. And then eventually we will decide as a community, not as a punitive thing or anything like that. We're going to decide what points mean. And so points will only be added. They will never be subtracted, and they will be for very specific things. And so the students will then be able to earn points for a various amount of reasons. If we're thinking Harry Potter is a really good example of this, but earning points for their house. At the end, we're not doing extrinsic. It's going to be extrinsic like gifts or anything like that. Where it's really going to just be a matter of recognition and what led up to all of those points for that house, and a big hooray and cheer for everybody. And then we'll start it again next year. So I'm really excited about this. This has been something that's happening throughout actually our country. There's a lot of schools that are bringing this on, and I haven't found another online school that's doing this, so we might just be pioneers, and I'm really excited about that. Any questions?
I'm just kind of have questions about, I guess, the platform. So
Okay.
the original platform was Canva. Is that the name of it?
So Canva is kind of like our school building, and we still have Canvas. So Canvas is like the structure. It's where the students sign into. That's still in place. It's where our teachers post announcements, post the recorded videos of classrooms, the lessons, any sort of assignments. That's all posted in Canvas. Kaltura was the live video classroom embedded into Canvas. So when they clicked on that, they went to Kaltura. And now we are using an embedded program the last 2 days. So Friday and Monday, today, we're using Big Blue Button, which is a live video conference classroom type piece that's already embedded into Canvas.
Great. Thank you. That clears that up quite a bit in my
Yeah,
head.
sorry.
And then I guess the other question was about the discussion of like when to implement this. I guess it was like you started right after the break. Is that?
Yeah, so we put out a lot of information and that we were going to be shifting platforms and looking for something that was going to continue the consistent connection to class and just I didn't really emphasize any other factors or district factors that went along with that decision. I just really was talking about we're going to be looking for something new, a new classroom piece, and that they should expect that we're going to need a lot of partnership and help at home while we're bringing this on. I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned through this process, though, is I kind of wish that we had done more of a pilot in one of the classrooms in December before we completely shifted. But we're rolling with it. That would have been probably easier for us to determine what live classroom platform is going to work. So Friday we had one class pop into Big Blue Button, and then our other teachers said, "Hey, we'll do it." Our 3 other teachers said, "We would like to give it a go on Friday." So they did very briefly. We noticed some turbulence, we'll say, but Nathan met with us. He's been very supportive. Like I said, Laura has been on the phone with parents as well. And then we decided, okay, we're going to give it a go again today. The old college try again today. We're going to have that open. And it seemed to, for the most part, work a lot easier. My biggest issue, though, that we're looking at is lag and consistent connection to the classroom. So we're noticing, and there's so many factors that go along with it that impact student connectivity. Weather is an impact, their Wi-Fi at their home, whatever their internet, capability is. So there's a lot of different pieces that impact this. But our biggest goal is that students have that consistent, like students going into brick and mortar, they can walk into the classroom, they know their teacher is there, they can hear the teacher the whole time, they have access to their education, and it's not interrupted. So that's what we're looking at.
Heather, real quick, and the reason that I might have misinterpreted your question, but like the timeline, like why now? Because Kaltura was expiring.
Yes, so sorry. Yeah,
and so you had to switch.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're in a whole nother
Yeah, it
year.
expired like December 31st or something, so we didn't have a choice.
I think it was a 3-year contract too. So I think that that was a factor looking at that. Do we really want to bring on Kaltura again for another 3 years, or can we bring on something else that is more cost effective and allows a little bit more flexibility? And doesn't hold the school into into that contract for that long period of time. I'm sorry, I completely didn't misread.
It's usually the provider of a platform for schools would have a contract end in the middle of the school
Mhm.
year.
Well, the reason why is because when we shifted 3 years ago and made that big shift, it was mid-year. And so Nathan, we all had to, that contract had to be signed mid-year. So this is why it's a mid-year shift again. Yeah, definitely not what we would want. But we had to respond to that.
And Heather, I should have listed you. You are super tech support also. Sorry about that.
No, it's totally okay. No.
Thank you.
No, it's totally okay. But yeah, no, it's parents. Like I had a mom today, like, oh, he's crying. He just doesn't like change. And so really it's our frame and the way we're modeling our response to this. So I said, yep, I'm overwhelmed too, but I'm keeping my focus on, this, and this is such a great opportunity. And I think the way that we model our response makes all the difference. And so mom was a lot more like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. So.
Great. Any other questions? All
Thanks,
right.
Heather.
Thank you, Ms. Shunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Next on our list is the business manager's report. Stephanie?
Well, I sit here a little more comfortable than the first time, a little more comfortable the second time, but still very new. So you guys have all been given the financial statements. You have those in front of you. And then for July 1st through December 3rd, the actual revenues and expenditures show an estimated ending fund at the $5,957,448. Of this, $5,467,217 is set aside as contingency and unappropriated ending fund balance, with the remaining of $490,231. And then updates. A new estimate for the school fund was released in November. The financial reports reflect new estimates, which are no changes from last month for the December board report. In November, the majority of the district's property taxes were received, so we've applied those. Of the budgeted $540,000 of current year property taxes, a total of the $501,879 has been collected thus far. Most of those are in November. The audit has finally been completed. That was a lot of fun as a new business manager to get to, walk through all of that, which Dawn had it mostly completed, but of course there was some follow-up things that I got to do, which again helped me learn the systems and everything else, and had a lot of help with that. That's been submitted by the deadline as required. The general fund beginning fund balance of $6,465,781, which is $234,219 less than budget. So the audit report I have heard was usually given to you guys by one of the auditors. So that's been something that's happened in the past. So I have David Bledsoe set up to come speak to you guys at the next board meeting. I didn't know about this till last week, so he wasn't available tonight. But anyway, he's already set up for our next board meeting. Yeah, that's about it. I continue to be trained by structured, qualified individuals who I'm learning a lot from. So I hope that in months to come, I have a lot more to offer you.
We'll have that audit to review in our packet next month
Yes.
for the
Yep.
meeting.
Yep, it will all be available to you guys, and then he'll be here to go over any questions that you have.
Okay. Are there any questions?
I have
the financial.
Question on the spreadsheet itself. Is column 3 projected to 6/30, 2026? I hope it is.
Yeah.
Would make a lot more sense.
Yes. Yeah, it
You'll
should be.
find, going forward, you'll find my strength is finding little tiny like typos and stuff.
I think you brought that up last.
Actually, I was actually teasing about you the other day. I was like, oh yeah, he called out a comma, but it was a compliment because I was like, he is one that we need to talk to if we ever have any questions.
Gold star board.
So yes,
like gold stars out there.
Yes, no, it was very much a compliment. Like he is the one to go to. So yes, sorry, 2026.
Any additional questions? Gordon, was that all your questions?
That was all my questions, the numbers.
Just making sure. Safety committee report.
Really nothing new. Keenan Elbers is now returned from his medical leave. And so we just really sat down and had a meeting of all the things that we're still seeing that haven't gotten completed from the seismic thing. Some things, little things around that we want to continue to get cleaned up and stuff. And so we were ordering a large dumpster so we can start do another fun purge and things like that. But it was more about getting him back up to speed and going from there. So
Is there any questions on this?
I've just, since I've spent some time on the playground with my 3-year-old now, turned 3 January 1st, the safety concern with the mulch thickness, which we knew would wear,
It's starting to wear.
is very worn where the points of impact are. So I would like to put out an opportunity to look at budgeting to replace the mulch idea with something that is more long-term stable for impact resistance, such as like a rubber.
The rubber benches.
Yeah, it's just not, I mean, we knew it would fail under the swings, under the monkey bars, right, in the high traffic areas. So I really don't think we have really any protection with some of the areas. I'm not saying it's catastrophic.
I would agree. As kids play and they drag their feet or
Yeah.
just
Or just
in
kick it.
general kicking it around, it's very difficult to
I have no
keep
idea
up.
how much that stuff costs.
We used to-
It's pretty
We used it
spendy.
in Wallowa, and it is, to do that space would probably be 20 to 30 grand.
And we might be able to just divide that
And
space.
do like the swings and
Right,
certain areas
just
under.
around the,
Mhm.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things that's new. I just thought as I was
Mhm.
watching The Wild Child, thinking, and secondly, I know that we had some absences, but I did notice and to me, it's aesthetic, but it's also safety. Like the leaves on the sidewalks out there for weeks on end, wet and thick. And one, it just looks ugly. It takes maybe 20, 30 minutes with a blower to clean them up. I think we're doing a lot to make our school more beautiful. It's probably not hard to at least clean the main sidewalk and make sure that we're not having, especially I know it's better now because they've broken down, but if we would have had an early freeze, it comes really slick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's, so just a little note for the safety.
Mhm.
We
things.
I
actually
know
talked about
really-
that.
Thank you.
I
We
bet you
did.
I know a really capable student that you
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Good detention
Volunteer.
time.
Volunteer.
Right.
Voluntold them again.
So,
Yeah, no, that's good.
Does anybody else have any questions? I did. Pace is blank.
yeah, I saw that too. but-
Curious.
We didn't
what-
have, I debated whether to take it or not. There wasn't any new updates
Okay.
from Pace at this time.
Okay.
So.
Perfect. Okay. All right, well, that includes our monthly reports. We're gonna move into new business. Before we get started, are there any items tonight that you expect voting or actual decisions made tonight?
No, because really these ones, don't require a decision, but it's, I want to bring it for
Okay.
transparency and just communication, collaboration.
Just wanted to make sure. I do the
Yeah,
things
we
I'm
don't have to
supposed
do votes on it.
Okay. All right, so number 5A is the striker badges.
Okay, so as reported in that ODE safety report, one of the big pieces is the communication, the mass communication across campus, some kind of intercom system. We do not have that fully functioning, and we don't have the capacity to do it unless we do a complete install. I know that I believe Krista was trying to do that with the prior COPS grant, and I believe that was budgeted in or was quoted at about 60,000, 65,000. So started looking around. We talked about the striker badges, have done a couple conference calls and webinars with them. The handout is in front of you. Some of these slides are not important, but basically what it does is it takes the place of the radios, of the phones, of an intercom system, cell phones, all of it, because we're supposed to be modeling. We're not on our phones, even though sometimes you have to communicate with adults. But it's really streamlining the workflows, and it's a little tiny device, looks like an old flip phone almost. And it just attaches to your lanyard or your jacket or whatever. And it is your mobile intercom system. Every single person has one issued. You can do calls to one person. You can do an all call. It can be programmed for certain people to be able to call 911 from it. You can call the nurse. There's a lot of settings that we can go through and set up for that. And it works all around campus, all down to the football field, out of the playground, wherever they might be. So it's the entire campus space.
So do they use cellular for that communication, or is it a
They have a
Wi-Fi based?
It's like a hub. Yes, exactly.
It's a dedicated system to the.
In the hospitals, all use it.
What is the cost difference between the intercom system, 60,000 to this?
So this is a one-time cost. Yep, and no, it's not on there. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I got it later. It's 41,000,
Okay.
and then every year there's a maintenance, and it's 3,800.
It's not bad.
It's not horrible, no.
And they're like adaptable and software upgradable.
They do, and that's what that 3,000
Right.
basically covers.
Is
And they
there,
come in and train the staff how to use it. They do all the programming. I mean, yes, they'll have Nathan have to help do some of that tech component, but they basically integrate everything into their system, and then they manage it.
I think what I like better about this, like not to interject, just knowing how the system works. If you have a teacher out at the playground and there's an emergency for some reason, they can't get to the intercom in the building, but this, they just hit that button and
Yes.
whether it's medical or safety, there's something going on and everyone can respond and it can access emergency services like immediately.
Yes.
And with our distance, minutes count,
Every minute counts.
every minute counts. So
It does.
I like these just because they're really reliable. And even if the power goes down, they still function.
Yes.
They all have battery backups. It's a good system. So even though they're my competitor and I hate them on the medical device side, but
Sorry.
throw it out in the world.
Just put them on a charger every
They
night?
do. They should do it every night. They do have 52 hours of battery life. So if someone forgot, yeah.
Would they be checking them in and out or just
So
taking?
there's a couple options on that. There's ports that they can have in their classrooms.
Mhm.
And then there's ports that can be like they have to come check them in at the office. Two things with that. Our office staff already have a ton going on. And I think that if we are all professionals, we should be able to put our one device on a charger in our office.
we can hit.
Well, I just meant like so they don't forget them. At
No,
home.
totally,
I mean,
totally.
The requirement would obviously be they keep it on them during the day.
Exactly.
So
And I think that I would recommend having the port in their room so that it goes there when they leave and then it's ready to go when they walk in.
I noticed most teachers carry lanyards with their keys anyway, so it's like
So what about like aides that, I mean, currently they pick up a walkie-talkie to go to playground duty.
Right.
Would they have to pick one up at the office? Is that-
Yes, yep. And the subs would have them and they're all programmed in there for everything. We would not have radios.
Yeah.
Everyone would be on the same
well, if you
system.
decide to go with it, I like the idea.
Have we looked into some of our local smaller grant fund options? I know like So Let's Tribes is
Mhm.
pretty big on these types of projects.
We
and-
actually missed that window,
Oh, gotcha.
but they are going to open again. I think it's April.
It's every quarter.
Is it quarterly? Yeah, okay. So we did miss the
Okay.
December deadline.
Benton Community Foundation. I
yeah,
know there's
we
a
can
bunch
reach
of
out to-
different ones that we can
Even to
Okay.
help just,
offset some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
right.
This might be worth paying someone a little part-time money to do grant stuff. It's amazing how much money's happening.
It is. It absolutely is.
Anyway, I like it.
Right.
And if you guys want.
We don't need to vote on
we can,
this, right?
But
This
we
is-
don't have to. I just wanted to bring it to you so you knew, and I could hear if you're like, hey, Stacy, this isn't a good idea, or we want you to look into some other
We wanna-
options, or.
The challenge is, I
Make sure we
think
stay
if we
in our
invest in a hardwired system, we're already outdated, right? I mean, most things are not hardwired anymore. I think doing this with it's a $3,800 a year. That's a really marginal fee versus one broken intercom thing that has to be redone,
Right.
you know, and plus they're not everywhere.
Right.
You know, you can put one in the stage or something, you know, but you just don't have access immediately everywhere.
No.
If
with
a
the
teacher
speaker-
takes their students down to the track
Right.
Right.
out on the
Yeah, I
playground.
just think this is a much more, the fee is very similar over 10 years. I mean, you're looking at a $18,000 increase over 10 years, and, you know, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, because even a brand new walkie-talkie is still a walkie-talkie.
Mm,
And then you
Mhm.
have to remember to get.
Charge 'em and- yeah.
Don't accidentally change the channel.
Right, right.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So,
Anyway, we can vote if you
Okay.
want, but I don't know that it's
I think we
necessary.
need to
It's
stay in our lane.
operational.
It's not it's not.
I think
a
it falls
decision.
under the spending limit of
It
the
does.
superintendent, so she's graciously approaching us so she doesn't take.
Stay in our lane.
share everything and, yeah.
She doesn't take heat
Okay.
from the guy who would give heat.
Yeah. This is for you, Russ. No.
Next, secondary grade level proposal.
Okay, so a couple things. Sixth grade is recognized by ODE as a middle school class, a grade.
Mhm.
And so all of our reporting, everything is considered middle school. There's also just the age and all the transitions that those kiddos are going through. I do wonder, we have a lot of behavior issues in that
Mhm.
class level. I just feel like they are needing to get out of their little seat in the same class all day long with the same teacher, because they are of middle school age. They play on the middle school sports teams. They are doing all the middle school things. But they're also treated as elementary. And I truly believe that would shift some of those behaviors.
Movement.
100% agree.
Mhm.
Having a sixth grader, but also I would say this, I think, because it's such a small school and they are so integrated with athletics, those kids are desperately trying to be involved in that
Yeah.
group, and there's really nothing they're doing with fifth and below.
No.
I mean, you know,
No,
on
totally.
the social sense. So I agree with you. I think getting that class to move around and have some different exposures
Yeah.
and maybe some different levels of,
Yep, all
You know,
of the
yeah,
components.
would really probably. I mean, are you looking at doing that soon? Or
Well,
just
I
next
would
year?
love, it has to be next year. I
Okay.
think with synergy and ODE, I don't
Yeah.
think we can do a mid-year switch.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
So does
Um,
that, hard questions. Does that eliminate a permanent
No,
position?
because we will need that position to, we are
Be
going to
like
revamp.
homeroom?
Actually, no, they will have English and then they'll go to math
Okay.
and then they'll go, but we're going to need the number of teachers to teach those core and then also reschedule the whole master schedule so that the electives are in the afternoon. And then we're not in a
Mhm.
situation like we are this year where there's a period and there's nowhere for kids to go.
I would love to see, again, put me in my spot if I need to be. I'd love to see some opportunities for those big transition periods of education with the students and the parents
Yes.
for those transition.
Yeah.
The entering the
Pieces.
middle school
Like,
world
we
and
should
then
have a-
entering high school.
We should do something special of, going into, for our incoming freshmen and our incoming sixth graders, like we do like a kindergarten rodeo,
Yeah.
right?
And actually, Kayla and I have that
Oh.
in the works for spring, because freshmen and families need to understand, what does our whole credit system look like? And what does it take? What are our graduation tracks and, pathways and that kind of thing? What does it take to be successful in secondary? So,
It seems like it makes sense. It sounds like making that change is going to be very complicated.
but we got it.
I'm really curious how you're going to make that happen. I know it's operational, but my mind, I'm like, how is she gonna make
Well,
this
they
work?
share classes, and you don't even need a full-time classroom, but it's more of a construct of the
Mhm.
courses being shared by grades.
Yeah, and we do have a classroom
Right.
that's
sitting empty
Sitting
most of the
empty.
time.
However, I do know parents have big feelings about sixth being integrated with some
Yep.
of those upper
Right.
levels as
And what
well.
does
And
lunch
being in
look
such a
like and all of
small
those things.
school,
Mhm.
respecting that difference too
Mhm.
can be challenging. But we'll support you.
We'll support you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, most middle schools are 6, 7 innings
Mhm.
right now, and you know,
But they're
we're
not
anomaly.
12.
No,
And that's
that's
the
true.
concern.
And that's one thing we did.
Right.
at the
Oh, no,
other-
I get it. I
At the
get
other
it.
two districts, they have their own lunch. So we actually had 4 lunch sessions. We
Yeah,
did the
high
K3,
school.
we did the, which could be K2 and then 3, 5, then middle school, and then high school. And they're on like it's a flexed schedule. And there's a little bit of overlap. I'll explain it when I can put it on. paper,
Yes,
but it does
absolutely.
work.
I just know being a small school, the parents have big feelings
Oh, yes.
about those sixth graders being in the hallway with those juniors and
Mhm.
seniors. It's scary.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when I lived in the Portland School District and my kindergartner had to ride a high school bus home
Yes.
because the school was bused because they were over full, you know, I had a lot of contention with that and we drove them. But you know, the challenges you face, eventually they made it work with a small bus, but I think parents should just have the opportunity to voice their opinions
Yes.
and to just make sure their concerns are met. That's what I would.
Yes.
No, I think that's great feedback. I actually thought we probably should send out a survey, get
Mhm.
that input. Here's what we're proposing. Here are the reasons why.
Right.
What are your concerns? What haven't we thought about?
Mhm.
How can we address those?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Any additional questions?
More to come on that.
All right.
I'm glad you're approaching it in that fashion.
Yeah.
I've learned.
Just do it.
Exactly.
The next item is the 26-27 school calendar you mentioned.
Yes, okay, so it's that time to start putting that together. I definitely wanted to get staff input. And so I gave them until Friday, give me their feedback. I will have an actual calendar proposal, probably 2 options to bring to the board, unless it's just very clear that this is what the team wants to do on the February meeting. But the questions that I asked, do you want to start before or after Labor Day? What's your preference? Did you like having the 2 full weeks of the staff days before school started to get the training that we have to do? And then also the actual prep time and the collaboration time to get ready for the year? Or do you want just the 1 week and then more frequent Fridays? Preferred Friday PDs, do you want them to be full days or do you want some half days so you can take care of personal things? Would you like to attend school in September 5 days a week to build in either more inclement weather day options or just get out of school earlier in June? Just kind of fill in those pieces out. Thanksgiving week, do you want the whole thing off or do you want to go to school Monday, Tuesday? Do you want that Monday after winter break for the staff? Prep and meetings and all of those pieces. And then please just share any other thoughts and suggestions you might have. So we have 31 responses, which is awesome.
That's very thorough.
It's and it kind of gives all the options. So far, 67% want to start before Labor Day. 61% would like those 2 weeks before and just fewer Fridays because there's so many days that are assigned to staff work days. So front loading those. They all want full days. If coming in Friday, let's just make it a full day and not a bunch of half days. 61% would like to do the 5 days a week in September. 41% said no. It's not a huge gap. Thanksgiving week, 61% would like to attend school Monday and Tuesday. Of
That's the
that week.
opposite of last year.
Right,
Mhm.
that's what I was thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was
everybody
opposite.
said
There was a
that.
lot of discussion.
I mean, I think it was like 50, almost 50-50
Yeah.
last
Gotcha,
year.
okay.
But I mean, it was very close. I think
Mhm.
that's why we had 3
Mhm.
options to choose from,
Because
trying
it
to
was
take
so-
all, it was, some things were
Mhm.
so close.
And then Monday after winter break to be used for the staff meetings and prep and planning. 48% say yes, 35 said don't care, basically. And then 16% said no. And then just lots of great feedback. It's really just expanding on everything they already voted on. And thanks for asking and those kinds of things. So That's where we're at with that. If you guys have any input, I appreciate it.
Everyone has my input. I'm just gonna leave it. I say you take all your conversations and results, throw it into AI and tell me what is the perfect situation
Yep.
and don't listen to Russ. I have a very strong guess.
I'm with you. I love after Labor Day, but
I'm trying to wrap my head around
Late June.
those first
But not necessarily, not if
2
you
weeks that
can
are in
make
September.
If they could front load in
Right.
September, maybe even September, October,
The first 2 weeks.
the
You would
first
be
2 weeks
okay.
would be those in-service weeks, so it would be the middle of August when we start.
Okay.
So it would be just basically moving all of those extra Fridays, only having a few of the Fridays, and then front loading it. So they have
And what are, that's the end of August with those?
it would be probably middle of August.
It's like 20th or something or
Exactly.
17th. The challenge is, and this is what I propose with the questions, there should be an option like, well, if we started after Labor Day and had these Fridays in September and had Monday, Tuesday for
Right.
school, it would actually put us out of school on this day. Because
Yes,
I think sometimes when you see the calendar, you understand it
True.
better. Like, so maybe at the end, just throw the calendars out and say,
here's the scenario.
because I think for me, the challenge is, it's Oregon weather doesn't necessarily get nice till mid-July.
Right.
So if you want to do things with your family, now you have 4 weeks left of summer, you're really under the gun to try to be like, okay, we can go a coast trip or we can do this. Our best weather, I wish school went to like July 1st because our best weather is really July, August, September into early October now. I think it's shifted over the last couple decades.
Well, it used to was a 50-50 chance of raining on my birthday, which is the 29th of June.
Right? Yeah.
So-
I mean,
Or the 4th of July, for that matter.
that's the only reason I like it later is because it's such beautiful weather. And before we had air conditioning, I actually said, we don't even have air conditioning. And sometimes that second, third, fourth week of August is sweltering.
Yes.
And then you got a bunch of kids that don't even want to do schoolwork because now we have air
Now we
conditioning.
get
So
right.
it takes that excuse away.
So I'll keep you updated when we get
Okay.
everyone. We only have 10 more people, which is awesome. I'm
That's great.
impressed at how fast they
Yeah,
responded.
great. I gotta call some people. Tell me the time.
Any additional questions? All right, next is Aptigee messaging system.
Okay, so we got an alert. We use Remind for our mass communication. And that is going to be bought out by Parent Square. So Remind will no longer exist. We don't even know the exact date on that. I am guessing it'll be the end of the year.
I'm guessing it'll, yeah.
I would think. Parent Square is another mass communication tool that we've actually used in Wallowa. Nothing wrong with it, but also nothing exceptional about it.
I've heard bad things.
So that's just my own personal experience with it. And it doesn't include your website. And so Aptigee had been doing some work with us, calling and saying, hey, can we talk to you? So set up some conference calls. Laura and I sat in on that, and then Nathan jumped in on the last one. Everything is sort of presented here, but basically their approach is very progressive and aligned with what everyone's using, which is a cell phone. So they build the app, which is everything you need in the app, and it mirrors the website so that those interfaces are the same. All the messaging is in one spot. You type your message once. You say, I want this to go to Instagram and Facebook and email and audio and
You
whatever.
just
Oh,
check
and
the
then
boxes
live.
of where you want it to post and
And as a person who's
Time
doing
saver.
all of that,
Right.
it's just efficient.
Mhm.
It's also got the classroom side, so it's almost like a live classroom feed. So then that has special authentication, so that only families and students get into that, but all of their class materials are on there, updates from the teacher, the messaging from teacher to parent, or teacher to all the parents, whatever that might be. It also has an AI sort of flagging system. So if there's any negative type conversations, those are flagged and sent to me so that I can intercept it and then deal with the concern.
Fabulous.
Call it. Trying to think other pieces.
So
There's
with
a
that
lot.
classroom piece, replace that, whatever the thing is that we have now.
Remind-
Parent
view.
So Parent View, so everything integrates. So all of our teachers that have their Google Classroom, it just integrates into this. So it just feeds in. So they don't have to recreate their Google Classroom. It just feeds into their system. And we're looking at that, but that's the same thing with Parent View and Student View. It would just integrate.
That would be great.
And then it does our entire website. So they have a whole migration team that goes in and takes our website and builds it into this platform. The only question is whether the ESD still has to host us or if we send the whole hosting over to them. But that's a fraction of the costs. Right now we spend about $10,000 just to have our website managed by the ESD. A little over 2,000 for Remind. And then Clever is our system that sort of integrates and communicates from our SIS to these platforms, and that's another couple thousand. They will do this setup for $4,500 for everything, and that's including the PD for the staff and some tutorials for community, any kind of training we want to offer. And then it is $8,900 a year after that.
But that's still cheap.
But that's still cheaper than all of the other platforms that we're doing.
So say you make a change on this app to a game schedule.
It updates
It
everything.
updates the website too. It goes both
Mhm.
directions,
It
not
goes-
just.
Yep,
Mhm.
it goes it goes everywhere. Any communication. we
Okay.
have. I
That's
think it
been a
sounds
big
fascinating.
question.
And put maps on how to get to these remote schools.
There is, no, there really is on the.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It is. There's the live. There really is. There's so many features.
When I
It's
tried to get a
amazing.
track regionals, I was like, where am I going? You know, like,
I guess I've been going to them long enough. It's like,
The other thing
you
that-
don't know where they are.
The other thing that's kind of neat is I know that we're really trying to encourage our staff to keep pushing out positive messaging, things that are happening in the classroom, so they can actually take their pictures, make their post, and have it ready to go, and it comes to me for approval. All I have to say is yes, send it to all these places, and it goes. So I don't have to go take pictures, write up the little narrative, do all those things.
I hope
They
they'll
can do that.
engage more.
Yes, it'll be a learning process, but yes, I think they will.
Mhm.
I think once they're trained on it.
Learn at home will be able to
Learn
use
at
it.
home.
That was actually gonna be a question, is if this can integrate to learn at home, because it sounds like what you're describing that they could do is like a lot of similar to what they're
Yes.
already doing in some ways.
Yes.
But will it help them?
I don't know if it'll help them. I would imagine it would. I don't know what Heather does on her messaging, and she might be able to jump in on this, but she would have all the same access. Absolutely.
And the question about the alerts, does this have the capability to make a voice call to my landline when the
It does. Yep, it does.
Oh, Stacy and I decided we were gonna have to sit in our car and listen to the radio.
Yeah. Oh, old school.
I just go out and plug in the Wi-Fi router to the car?
There you go.
I have to know
We
the power's
decided we will
out.
always have generator fuel. So that's what I've decided.
Perfect.
So those are
Sounds exciting.
some things we've been working on.
Moving up in this world.
I think it's great. Embrace the year 2026
Okay.
instead of 1996.
Are there any additional questions on that?
If you have more questions, shoot me. an email.
I can
can
share
always-
what we use. I can share what we use if you want.
Go for it.
Okay, so we use Class Dojo and it sounds very similar. So I would be very happy to look at what the district is using. It would be nice to have everybody on the same page.
Great.
But Class Dojo is our space where we actually share photos with pictures of the kids. Our families are very sensitive to any photos going out on public social media, but everyone loves the threads. It's kind of like a similar, there's threads and there's pictures being shown and all sorts of stuff. And so that's been a really big positive for us. But yeah, we're happy to switch over, and it'd be great to do something where it's whole school, a whole district.
Yeah.
We'll have you jump on another call, Heather, so we can ask some of those specific questions that I just don't know to ask.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Shuck. Okay, it looks like we don't have anything under old business. We have no first readings. We have no second readings. So that moves us to board comments. Are there any board comments?
I've said a lot, but I'll just say thank you for being proactive with everything you're doing and looking at new efficiencies and new technologies. And, I'm the kind of person, like I said a couple months ago, with just your contract, everything else, that I'd rather invest the money into something that's better upfront than just keep putting money down a path we know isn't great. I think as a parent of multiple kids in school, Frustration comes with lack of communication. Some kids bring home information every day, others never do. And I think systems like you're presenting, I think safety systems, I think all of it, you spend a lot of time doing a lot of things. But I, as a board member, appreciate the overall idea that every time we meet, you're more than well prepared. You have more than enough information, and you have a path that's very visible to us that is cohesive to what you shared with us coming in. And you're building bonds with the community like no other. So I just really appreciate the work you're doing, the work the staff is doing. I notice a complete shift in a lot of, I'm not saying everyone is perfect, but there's a big morale shift around this school year, and it's actually coming through the kids home. And so thank you. This is a very difficult job that you've taken on, and you're doing well. So thanks.
Well, thank you.
And thanks to our board, because it's been really easy since July.
That's great.
This whole thing, which could have been the delay start, all these things, and we've had no issues with drama or inconsistencies. It's just been really invaluable. Yes, the quality of life change for the board. Me on the board has been tremendous.
You guys are great to work with. You hear horror stories out there. I'm like, yeah, no problems here. It's wonderful. Yeah, right.
Out there. Any other comments? Or any future agenda items? Okay.
See you on Monday.
Key dates. Tomorrow night is our OSBA community event hosted by former board member Deb Lindbergh at Deb's Cafe. At 4:30, come have chili and cornbread with us while we learn how to work with you as a community. January 19th is a teacher workday, no school. January 28th is the end of the second quarter and first semester. January 29th is a grading day. There will be no school. And February 9th is our next regular school board meeting. Are there anything we missed?
I'm wondering, I thought that it was at 4:00. I'm sorry, the OSBA thing.
I did too.
I think
had
it
it on
is.
the calendar for. I know I had it up where I didn't change
I
it.
think it is
because
at-
Okay, good.
I think it's 4 to 5.
That's what I put out.
I'm going to be there at 3:30.
Just to kind of help get things. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So correction, January 13th, tomorrow, chili and cornbread, Deb's Cafe, 4:00. Come have that yummy food before our home athletics tomorrow night. So other than that, I think we can adjourn at 7:02.
You guys.
Perfect. I told my wife it'd be a fast meeting if she didn't believe me. I was like, no, I read the whole agenda this time. I know, Amy. It's like the first time I've ever done it. And then it's like, wow, this is going to be great.
This one.
We have just our kid, Finch has a lot of energy, but he's getting better in the last 6 months. But Prairie is like